Alright, YouTubers, YouTube handyman out there, what we have here is a Hustler Superduty FasTrak, and the problem that we have with this particular mower is along at about, I think it's 357 hours, both sides of the hydraulic pump got a leak, and so got up under there and cleaned it all up. Tried to figure out where the leak was coming from, and there's on the bottom half of the pump there's a cover plate, and it's for the what they call the pump drive unit. It's that big greasy guy right there in the center. The other side was worse than this side. I've already changed it. Figured I'd video the second one rather than the first one, so I'm a little more practiced. But what I found is I ordered the pump drive kit, and that kit comes with both the metal gear that's underneath that cover and the cover itself. What I discovered when I took it apart, this is what the kit comes with. There we go. This is the cover plate that you just saw, the underneath side, of course, and this is the gear that's inside of it that actually creates the oil pressure. And the other thing it comes with is an O-ring that seals. And this is the old O-ring from the other side. And you can't really tell it here. It looks fine, but it's not round anymore. It's actually flat, and you can really feel the difference between it and the new one that came with the pump when you roll it in your fingers, because it's just not round. Hence the leak that is developed. So I actually just put the old gear back in because when I inspected it, it looked fine, didn't see any wear on it, no shavings. So I actually I saved that gear because at some point it will need to be replaced, and I'll have the replacement sitting there in a box ready for it. But until then, I'll just replace the O-rings. So I spent too much money now, but maybe I'll get it back later. I'm going to get it cleaned up underneath there first, because it's a real mess, and I'll do that, and then we'll come back. All right, we got the first round of cleaning done there. You can actually sort of see the unit now. Obviously, it's still not super clean by any means, but I wanted to show you the first part of this process, which was taking this oil filter off. Obviously, I'm changing the oil filters while I'm got all this crap drained out anyway. So I got some new oil filters. Got to take this guard off first thing. Gonna do that now. It's 3/8 inch, 3 small. One to them here, one there, one there, one over here on the other side. Probably can't see it. Gonna take those off real quick. All right, just taking off the last little screw holding this cover on. Notice a whole bunch of garbage up around that filter. I would suspect the guard designed to keep some of that out, but mostly to keep a stick from going through it. So it's pretty gross in there. Dump it out over here, away from where I'm working, and get in here and clean the rest of this mess out around this, because I don't want any of that getting into the oil. All right, for the oil filter, obviously we have an oil filter wrench. This kind, or the kind that wrap around and use leverage, would be fine. One thing that may save you a busted knuckle is go ahead and instead of just putting a ratchet directly on that gizmo there, get a nice long extension so you're able to have some leverage to push in while you turn, or else the cap just tends to slip off the filter itself and cause you to ram your knuckle into something that's sharpened metal. So yeah, obviously not particularly rocket science, but might save you a busted knuckle. Long extension so you can push in as you turn. Moving on. Right, here we are, oil filter off and draining. And in a minute I'll take that plate off and let it drain a bit too. Oil on this side, vastly different than oil on the other side. This side was real dirty and in need of a change. But the other side, which was leaking much more than this side, was brand new oil that came out of the pump. So this one had much less of a leak, and but it had started. So we're going to go ahead and change that seal. I'm going to go ahead and take the cover loose. It's just held on by two 3/8 screws. The other side came loose very easily. So does these. So do these screws both not torqued down too tight. There's another gush of oil that comes out when you take this plate off, so be prepared for that. But if you have the this particular model, the 3100 HydroGear, no parts should come out. Some of the other older ones have little springs and a lot of little whatnot that might fall out, which make doing this while installed on the mower pretty impossible because gravity is working against you. But this one, there's no little fiddly bits that come apart when you drop this plate. So I'm kind of holding the plate on with my finger while I take both of the screws out. I can manage the flow of oil. And you want to pay close attention to the cover plate on this, the direction of it. It's got a marking. It needs to go back the same way. Okay, there was no big gush of oil on this one, like there was on the other side, which actually worries me a little bit. I may have a problem other than one I think I do, which would be par for the course for me. But that is the gear in there. You can see it. A lot of oil in there with it. So we'll set that aside for right now. Let some of this oil drain. The O-ring is still attached to the body. It's inside of a groove in there. You have to kind of pull it out with your fingernail. And so there you go. That's the plate off. All that's left to do is inspect the gears inside there, inside that little cover I just took off that I showed you, and pull that O-ring and put the new one in, put it all back together. Alright, wanted to show you what's going on before I take that O-ring off. You can see it there. I can do this without dropping my phone in the oil pan. Blocking your view, probably can't. Just get your fingernail up in that groove and pop it out, which I'll do without my phone on top of an oil pan. Alright, here's the gear we took off, and we're going to put it right back on because, as you can see, it's pretty clean. I don't think it is having any issues. Just the O-ring, I think, is my leak. And so I'm not going to replace this until it needs to be replaced. It's going to go right back on where I've already put the new seal. You just push it up in there with your finger. Try not to get any dirt anywhere if possible. So I'm fixing to place this back on in the direction that it came off in. That's very important because it won't work if it's not right. Or so I hear. Could be a big internet lie. Could be able to put it on any way you want to. So just go ahead and put it on any way you want to. I'm going to put it back the way it came off because that makes sense to me. And I'll do that and we'll be back. Alright. The gear and the cover plate are back installed. That is pretty uneventful. Getting ready to put the oil filter back on. A new oil filter, I should say. Doing the old wet the seal with the old oil prerequisite. Why? Because your dad told you to do it, that's why. Not really sure it makes any difference at all, but hey, can't hurt. Clearing a little sludge away from the edge of that. So once it comes in contact with the base, you want about a 3/4 to a turn tightening on it, which is just always about all you can do with your hand. Oh, there's that. Now we just got the cover to put back on. Probably clean it up a little bit. Don't know why, it's just gonna get filthy again. I walk around all day long with a smile on my face. Can't seem to get you off of my mind. I don't want to. All you gotta do is touch my hand and I'm floating in the clouds again. And I'm hoping that I never ever gotta calm down. So thanks to the good folks at HydroGear, this particular job can entirely be done with a 3/8 wrench after you get the wheel off. But that's appreciated, because there's nothing more aggravating than having to need 5 different wrenches for what should be a simple job. Alright, so that guy's back on. You just gotta put some oil back in it and prove that we're fixed.